Do you think that influence from your parents was that from their background in Russia a lot?
Huge.
How was the situation there? How did that shape them?
Well, I can tell you more about what it was there 25, 30 years ago,
Sure.
which is when they left. And, I mean, it was full-on communism. Soviet Union was about to collapse at the time when they,
What year
they
is
left.
this, like?
My dad came here in 91, I believe.
Isn't that like
That's
the
literally
year it
the year,
collapsed?
yep.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah, and he was 18. He came here by himself with $50 and with no people he knew.
Oh my
All
God.
he knew is if he stayed there,
Did he speak English?
zero. No.
Oh my God.
He tried learning on the train in Russia, actually. On the way to and from school, he'd be reading English words in a book.
Oh my
On
God,
repeat.
dude.
And he was supposed to go to the army, right? As
Yeah.
all 18-year-olds do.
Yeah.
And he said the people he knew that were going to the army his age were all getting put on border patrol with, I believe it was Afghanistan or some other conflict they had at the time. And he said there were like 80, 90% of them were not coming home. They were dying.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I don't even believe in communism. Why would I die for this? And he pulled a few strings. He got technically a work visa to come stay here temporarily. There was a guy from church, from Moody Church, which is actually right down the street here, one of the biggest churches in the city, and the president of the whole church at the time, and Moody Bible Institute, which is a big college here, like one of the biggest Christian colleges in the country, which is like for preachers and all that.
Sure.
And and the president at the time, Dr. Stoll, had came to that one church I told you about in Moscow to speak there.
No way.
And my dad made that connection. He got his phone number.
So he came straight to Chicago.
He came straight to Chicago.
Straight to Chicago. Why
And
Chicago?
stayed because this was the only connection he had. He knew no people here.
Oh my God.
So he lived with the president of Moody Bible Institute for about 3 months in his basement.
What? What was he doing?
You're going to love this. His first job was selling cookbooks door to door. He doesn't speak English. And he crushed it too. He did really well.
What did he do? Like hand signals and...
Yeah. He would leave. He'd like point to it. He'd leave a book he'd mostly go to businesses at the time, back when soliciting was not a thing. You know, and you go to most businesses now and it says no soliciting.
Wait, that's only recent?
And that's pretty recent, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so he'd go in, he'd be like, hey guys, he knew only a few words. He'd be like, I leave this here, I come back, pick it up Friday. And it was like a Monday. And if you want to keep it, when I come back, if you like it, you buy it. And so he'd literally just drop off books on his route, go to a bunch of different places. And then in about 4 or 5 days, he'd come swing back around. And he'd go and he'd pick up all the books, and people wanted them. People like flipped through it at work. They're like, oh, I like these recipes, whatever.
Wow, that's genius.
It's before the internet. And they would just buy it.
Because they can get to it on their own time, you know?
It wasn't pressured at that point. He's not a sales rep just standing right there. You get a whole week to just check out this book on the desk.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be like, oh, I don't want to do work, so let me flip through.
Yeah.
Let's make some lasagna tonight.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Wow.
And it worked. And he did that for a year or two. But that was his first job in the States.